There's two sides of pain. There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt that you backed off. The first time you felt, that burn. The first time you felt that it's too much. And we rationalize with ourselves to where we automatically stop. That's why a bunch of us give up so much in life so quickly. But suppose I told you the greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today. See, sometimes we think the pain is what controls us. It's actually our subconscious mind. That if we ever tapped into that, that's what dictates most of our lives.
And literally what I've learned in these moments is that I have to stop listening to myself and I have to start talking to myself. I'm like, Rich, you're great. I'm like, looking in the mirror like, you can do this. Rich, you can handle this. Rich, this is not a big deal. Rich, this is going to pass. You're amazing. Rich, this too shall pass.
You got to find ways to increase your sense of self-appreciation, because if you don't, you're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you.
You got to get grounded. You got to train your mind to serve you. Just make up your mind. This is not going to control you.
You have got to make a declaration. This is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it. And you're going to go all out to have it. It's not going to be easy. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm going to turn this situation around. I'm not going to sit back and moan and cry over what happened and what went wrong and who did what. I'm going to do something about this situation.
When God gives you a dream, the dream will always be tested. The pressure in your life right now has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's on the inside of you out. It shows you who you are.
It's a dog fight. It hadn't been easy. It's a dog fight. The road hadn't been success. Like it's just a paved road and like E.T. go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight.
I choose to fight back. Life is rough. You can allow it to destroy you, or you can allow it to build you up. Draw the line, ladies and gentlemen, and just say enough is enough.
Get out of that narrow-mindedness. Get out of that defeated mentality. Get away from that circle. Get away from those people that don't wish you any good. Get away from those people that don't want you to succeed. Get out of the tent. Get out.
There's nothing as powerful as the human spirit. You can't destroy it. You can pervert it, but you can't destroy.
If you lose a job, keep the faith. If you lose a spouse, keep the faith. If you have to downsize, keep the faith. If you have to move in with your mama, keep the faith. If you're at your wit's end, keep the faith. If you have to catch the bus, keep the faith. If you have to thumb, keep the faith. If you get sick, keep the faith. If you lose your kidneys, keep the faith. If you got heart trouble, keep the faith. You might not get a new heart, but you got to keep your faith.
If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
Listen, folks, success is hard.
It's hard. You can take all the courses you want. It's hard. When you get them degrees and you hang them on the wall, if you want to be successful, it's going to be hard.
There are nothing but difficulties in achieving your goal. We just need to get that part straight.
That's the first thing you need to understand.
But you know what I discovered? When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. You get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. That you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
What kept me going was I made turning back, giving up, never an option. Being successful is so hard, but I realized that not being successful was hard too. It's hard. It's hard not having money. Just make the decision that you're not going to be poor anymore. Don't matter how you were born. You could be poor and become rich.
You've got a lot in you you don't even know. I don't want you to sleep tonight. I want you to really remember this. It's not where you start. It's where you're going. Listen, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great.
If it's hard, why do people do it? People who climb mountains just for the sake of it. Nobody paying them to do it. Just do it. Somebody said, I'm going to run around the world. He said, well, why would somebody want to do that? Why do people do that? Why would a Nelson Mandela give up 26 years of his life? Here's what I discovered in high school. I decided I wanted to go out for football. And I discovered why people do things. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Even though it's hard, it's worth it. One day we had Coach Alkin Hepburn. He said, Brown, come over here. I had my suit on. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm going to have old Larry Littles down there. Old big, fat, sorry Larry. Yes, sir. He said, I want you running, Larry. I want you to put your helmet right in his pit, right up in his chest. You can do that. Yes, sir. Can you do that? Yes, sir. I said, hubba, hubba. I said, hubba, hubba. I know you can get him, all right? We'll get him. How sorry he is. I said, yes, sir. And he went down to Larry. 250 pounds, strength, agile, and all muscle. He said, Larry, you know Brown down there. He's down there talking about your mom and everything. And how he's going to knock you off this board. Larry now spitting fire. And I'm looking at Larry saying, oh. He said, look at that fool down there growling. He told me he's going to scare you, that you're going to leave. Are you going to leave? No, Coach, I ain't going to leave. Coach got back. He winked at me. Go get him, Brown. I ran into Larry with my helmet. Larry said, boo. I don't know where I landed. When they woke me up, I said, y'all got any more positions out here? Don't y'all need an announcer? He said, Brown, you quit, man. I said, yeah. I said, what? I said, it ain't worth it, man. I'll be your announcer, man. I was calling the game. Because the pain wasn't worth it to me. The people who go after their stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. I used to talk to my plants when nobody else would listen to me. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary. If you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to form and develop new relationships. But nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it. You know, these kids, man, it's rough dealing with them. That's right. You think peer pressure happened overnight? I remember as a kid, some guys say, hey, Les, me and another fellow, we're going down to Goulds, man, and knock off a grocery store. I say, look here, I don't want no part of that. Say, y'all chicken. I'm not chicken, man. Don't call me chicken. We didn't even ask you to come into place, man. All you do is just drive the car, that's all. Hey, I'm not driving nothing, all right? You find somebody else to drive or you drive yourself. Come on, Willie, man. Pull him, you stop. All I got to do is drive? Yeah. I said, Willie, that sounds simple, man. Don't go, man. He went. And the next day we read the newspaper. The merchant, the man who owned the store, came out just shooting wildly.
and he hit the driver in the head. It's difficult and it's challenging for kids right now. And as we think about that, start experimenting with different methods and techniques through our commitment, through our vision, through our determination. It's possible that we can reduce the teenage homicide rate, the dropout rate, that it's possible looking at what kind of world are they going to be in. It's possible that we can create an educational system that not only will test their minds with information, but will teach them how to think and be creative and to value human life and how do you make relationships work. How do you bounce back from adversity where they become assets to our society rather than liabilities? What if we leave here with that kind of consciousness that maybe someone here has the idea or the method or some plan of action or an approach that can resolve many of the problems that we're facing with young people today? That it's necessary for us to begin to look at the future and know that it's possible that we can have our dream. Yes, it is. That we align ourselves with people that think like we do. It's necessary we get negative, do-nothing people out of our lives. It's necessary that we never give up, that we're going to keep on keeping on, that we're going to find a way to win or find a way to make it happen. And we know it's hard. It's not going to be a picnic. And once we do it hard and we go through it, we realize it was worth it. And once you discover it was worth it, it is done. And we've all had experiences where we were working on something and we knew it was possible. We took the responsibility to make it happen. Other people couldn't see it. You were attacked. You were criticized. But you kept on doing it. It was hard. It was difficult. But to you, it was worth it. And eventually you got to a level you know, can nothing stop me now. I'm on the move. I'm on the move.
Willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve. Some people say, well, I'll do it for a little while and see what happens. And all of us know that that kind of person doesn't have much of a future. If I have to learn a couple of things, I will learn those things. If I got to learn 5 or 6 things, I'll learn all 6. If I've got to read the books, I'll read the books. Whatever it takes, I will do. Wanting to excel in all of the skills and settling for nothing less than an outstanding performance. If you're willing to demand of yourself excellence in skills, to be the best that you can possibly be, if you're willing to be an expert in all of the skills, and not only make a handsome living, not only make a lot of money, but if you would so desire and if it would be your purpose, a chance to make your fortune. Why pay the price? Why work this hard? Why try to learn this much? Why try to see it all? Why try to have it all? Why develop yourself to the full? Why try to become all that you can possibly become? Why do that much? Why go that far? Why try to become everything? That's a good question, why? One of the big thrusts for success is to come up with a strong enough why. Here's another good answer to why. It's why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see what kind of person you can become? Why not see how many people you can rescue from oblivion? And why not? If a farm boy can wander out of Idaho and finally arrive at this extravaganza, why not you? I want you to take that personal. Why not? Why not you? You've got the brains. You can make decisions. You can change your life. You can make your dreams come true. You can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. Why not you? My very last question. Why not now? There never was a better time. Let's go do it now.
Anybody can be steady when there is no storm. The true skill set of a leader is to be steady in the storm, not hysterical, not anxious, but steady in the storm. You are closer to there than you have ever been before. But God is not big on details. He tells you we're going to the other side. He does not tell you what's going to happen on the way. There are things that scare the living daylights out of you on the way. It's not the takeoff that you have to be concerned about, because most things take off good. Most business ventures take off good. Most little babies start out good. The takeoff is always great. It's the things that happen in the middle that challenge your ability to be steady. And there you are in a crisis, in a storm, and you're trying to get to the other side. Wherever there is, wherever God has predestined for me to go, I want you to notice that He determined the end from the beginning. He knew where He wanted you to go before He formed you in your mama's belly. He had predestined for you to go to a place. But in the process of getting there, storms arise. The one thing that we all have in common, black or white, rich or poor, short or tall, the one thing I can guarantee you that all of us will face, male or female, is a storm. There is nobody you're going to meet or fall in love with that will avoid the fact that storms are built into God's plan. You have to know that He equipped you with a fire extinguisher and an emergency exit and an automated system that even when you can't see Him, you can hear Him. And if you will follow His voice, you will get to the other side. The first thing we do when we get in the storm is to try to fix the storm. The storm is not yours to fix. You cannot fix the storm. And this drives you crazy, but it's particularly difficult for men because we are raised to fix stuff. And there are some women who feel that way too. You feel like you failed if you don't fix it. You lose self-esteem because you feel like it's your fault because you can't fix it. And I came to tell you, every storm that comes your way is not your job to fix. Storms don't always warn you that they're coming. Oh, once you get so high in the air, the pilot is going to pass out and you're going to almost lose your mind. Your husband is going to leave you for your girlfriend or your sister, your mama. No, nobody, you don't get to pick. And how do you sit down and tell your boys you lost your girl to a girl? Oh, you think that's funny? Yeah, you think that's funny, but that's happening. You don't get to pick the storm you face. You don't get to pick what life is going to hand you. And to all those control freaks, you have a special degree of trauma because the only time you feel safe is when you're in control. And I confess to you, I hate it. I don't want to be in something I can't control. And when you're in a storm, the big question in your mind is, do I have what it takes to stand against this storm? Can I make it through at my age? Can I make it through at my stage? Can I make it through after all the other stuff we've been through? And the worst time to have a storm is when you're already tired. That's why the enemy waits till you're tired. He waits till you're frustrated. And you feel like if one more thing hits me, I'm going to lose it up in here. And that's when the storm comes. And it came to pass. And it came to pass. Every storm that ever hit the planet came No matter how fierce, no matter how devastating, no matter how many homes were destroyed, they always come. And no matter how severe, no matter how terrible, no matter how many lives were lost, families were lost, it still comes to pass. How many times in your life have you gone through something you thought you wasn't going to make it? Where are my real people at this morning? I'm never going to make it out of this. This is too much. I can't handle it. I can't take it. And half of the stuff that broke my heart and almost drove me crazy, I can't even remember. It's in my rear view mirror. But in that moment when that storm hits, can I be steady in the storm? I've had some tough storms. And I learned that what I have to do is be steady in the storms. Can I talk to you this morning? Stop wishing for other people's stuff, because you don't understand all the things they have to put into it to be ready to handle it. If your perspective doesn't change, you will misunderstand that God allowed the storm to give you an experience that nobody else ever got to have. You want an uncanny anointing? Go through an uncanny storm. You want an uncanny influence? Endure an uncanny storm. You don't get this by wishing for it. You get it after you've suffered a while. There are no shortcuts to the storm. Oh, do you hear what I'm talking to you about? And this is not a time to faint. And this is not a time to give up. And this is not a time to die.
No matter what happens to you, it ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. As long as God wakes you up, that means he ain't through with you yet.
Every painful time, it's developing something in you that can only be developed in the tough times.
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn.
Now you have to receive this by faith and say, God, I believe what you promised, that a turnaround is coming.
Hang on. Winters don't last forever.
You meet somebody wealthy, their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. In my family, I'm the one.
You can be anything you put your mind to. Look at me. I come from the bottom. My father made $5 a day in the coal mine. I didn't flush a toilet till I was 5 years old. We didn't have no hot water. My mama ain't had no money. I made it all. I didn't get a car in my name till I was 38 years old. That's who you talking to. So when I'm telling you this, pay attention to me. I come from the bottom. I ain't no rich boy. I've been homeless, I've been barely making, and I'm balling.
If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. I want you to decide that today. Are you with me? Say yes.
I love people of action. I'm weary of people who get in your face and tell you what all they're doing and actually doing nothing at all. In my life, results count. Don't tell me what you went through. Tell me you got it done. Oh, look at somebody and say, do it. Do it. Don't dream about it. Don't wish for it. Don't hope for it. Don't cry about it. Get up and do it. Do it with all of your might and with all of your passion. Somebody holler, do it.
I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at, that he gave it everything, that he went for it. I mean, when you're alone and you're brushing your teeth, you look up and go, I'm proud of you, man. And you feel it.
I know you've been through hell. I know you had to go through high water. But I also know there's a reason that you went through everything you went through. After this, you're going to come into your promised land. He didn't take you through that wilderness for nothing. Something good is going to come out of this.
Half you came in here today, not sure you're going to stick it out. Not sure how long you'll run. Most people's dreams can be bought with enough failure, with enough rejection, They can't still fight, and their will to win is buyable. You can buy it. Some of you will sell your win for some failure. You're probably buyable. But if you decide my will cannot be bought, I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. That's the decision. Decide now. You're going to keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought?
You can't let your past destroy your future. You got to get rid of the stuff behind you. Look at somebody say, get it off you. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but whoever it is, you're getting ready to go to the next level. And a whole lot of things had to change in your life. Some of you have been standing waiting on God to help you. You better go ahead. You've been praying about it, but it's time to do it. You've been waiting on God to respond, but he already gave you the answer. Do it.
You won't do it. You won't do it. You won't. But about 1% of you in here will. I love that most people don't take anything seriously. I love that most people aren't coachable. I love that most people don't do what I teach or that anybody teaches. That's how certain people win. Half y'all haven't written a damn word down I've said. If you were in my team, I'd slap the hell out of you. I don't say that talking down to you. I say, wake up! You want to win? You want to be a millionaire? You got to quit being so casual. You talk a good game like you're going to be somebody, like you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can't even write a note down. You got to get focused. We come to play. We're for real. What are you? Cool? Cool guys go broke. They have a good 2 or 3 years. Players who implement strategies that get focused and intense, they win decades. You got to win year after year after year. Wake up, brother. All the people clapping, you're a player. All of you that were offended by that, I didn't say your name. That backs you up what I just said. You better drop that fit and get a new one. I'm no better than you. Same God that made you made me. If you make a couple of these adjustments, man, you could change your life. You could change your family forever.
Here's how to really cash in on this year. Number 1, get serious. Life is serious. It's serious whether you win or lose. It's serious whether you succeed or fail. Matters of income are serious. Matters of supporting your family, serious. Are you serious? Why? We got a serious matter here to discuss. We're not here to entertain. We're here to instruct. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. We're here to get the best we possibly can. Life is serious. The future's serious. These are the best of times and these are the worst of times. How come such a difference from those who can reach such incredible heights and those who haven't yet found the answers for their life and their health and their future? And I want you to take on that serious tone. Take your own future serious. What you can do for your family, take it serious. To have the best year ever this year, don't miss the opportunity to learn. Take a good key phrase home, use it in your training. Don't be lazy in learning. Get smart. If you've had a bad week, just sit down and ponder that for a while. See if you can't pick up some ideas from a poor week and then make a better week. One way to learn to do it right is do it wrong. Now the key is don't let it take too long. If you've done it wrong for a year, we suggest that's long enough. Another year just to prove a point. No, 1 year's enough. This is called the possibility for life change starts with education. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be lazy in learning from your own experience. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of life change. Just because you've listened to those millionaire tapes one time is no sign you've got it. I'm asking you to listen to them over and over. I'm asking you to dedicate yourself to a new level of learning. Never let it be said you didn't learn. If you want to solve your problems, you got to learn. If you want to take advantage of an opportunity, you got to learn. To have your best year ever, make your dreams come true. Number 1, get serious. Number 2, get smart. The same wind blows on us all. The difference in where we arrive at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year is not the wind that blows. But what's going to make the major difference? Each person's personal philosophy that sets a better sail, sets a better sail. Don't ask for better seed and soil. All you got's what's available. Wherever you've come from in your country, the economy you got, that's all you got. The key is to set a better sail and turn what you've got into the miracle of your future. Taking notes, rolling up your sleeves, commit yourself to learning so that you can get smarter for the days ahead. Here's number 3, get going. You got to get going. You got to take action. Could change, should change, don't change. You're on the wrong track. Don't let neglect destroy your days, destroy your life, and destroy your future. Go back and do what you can. You got to take care of the small disciplines before life will give you a chance to handle the more complicated disciplines. And do not neglect them and do not disregard them as being trifling. Everything matters. Everything's important. It's so easy to be casual and say, well, this doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, everything matters. Go for the disciplines, the smallest of disciplines, the least of disciplines. If you'll be disciplined when the amounts are small, we'll make you a ruler, give you a position of authority when the amounts are many.
We race to the finished product, but we don't have a great appreciation for the process. And you don't realize that it is, in fact, the process that prepares you to withstand the weight and the agony of the product itself. If you take the elevator and you get it too fast, you can't handle it. And so God has designed it that you would move along in steps.
Put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. It's a gift.
You know how much I have today? God done gave me more than I asked for, because he got this thing he has called grace. You know, I wish I could buy grace, man. Grace is when you get what you don't deserve. I do not deserve this life I have. The money I make, where I live, how I vacation, I don't deserve it. I work really hard, but I really don't deserve all this. But he gave me grace. He let me survive homelessness. He brought me from dark, man.
I've been protected. I've been directed. I've kept God in my life and has kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done and stick with God. When I was young, I starting to really make it as an actor. And I talked to my mother. I said, Ma, did you think that this was going to happen? I'd be so big and I can do this and I can do that and I can. She said, boy, stop it right there. Stop it right there. Stop it right there. She said, oh, you did it by yourself? I tell you what you can do by yourself. You can go outside, get a mop and a bucket and wash them windows. You can do that by yourself.
Do you know when I was homeless, I told God every day, if you let me make it, I'm going to tell everybody it was you. Well, guess what? I'm telling you, I have no education. What you see today is a boy that come out the bottom who kept doing this thing that his mother taught. She said, when it get dark for you and you can't find your way, she said, don't forget to pray. Don't be ashamed to pray. And don't ever be too proud to pray, because prayer changes things. You have got to pray. Do you know that God would actually love to hear from you? Go somewhere by yourself today and tell God you need some help. You're not going to make it without God. If you've tried it so far, tell me how that's working out for you.
Now, maybe you've been trying to do this only in your own strength. It's time to go to the source. God, I can't do it on my own. I'm asking you to bring this dream to pass. The scripture says, call on the name of the Lord and he will answer you. God wants us to depend on him. By ourselves, we'll get stuck. But when you ask God to help you, supernatural things will happen. God is unlimited. The good news is he wants to help you. He's longing to be good to you. Look to him as your source.
When people did not stand by me, the Lord stood with me. Now, who would you rather have stand with you? I was delivered from the lion's mouth. I was delivered out of the mouth of people that I thought was my friend. I was delivered. I should have been dead. I should have had a nervous breakdown. I could have lost my mind. And I want you to give God a praise for how he delivered you out of the mouth of the lion.
You're not on your own. You and God are a majority. He controls the universe. He brought water out of a rock. Just tell doubt, I know what God promised is on the way. I'm a believer and not a doubter. I know God has me in the palm of his hand.
If you do that, he gonna put some grace on you. And he gonna give you some things you don't deserve. I never saw myself here, but that God I serve, he saw me here. Now all I'm doing right now is telling you that with God you can make it. But if you ain't ever tried God, listen to me. You should try him. He don't love me no more than he love you. If God can pick me up, if God can change me, he changed anybody in this room. God is good, man. Give God a chance.
The scripture says that every good gift comes from our Father in heaven above. That good gift may come through people, but it came from God. He's using them as a resource. That's why you don't have to play up to people, compromise to get a good break. People are not your provider. God is your provider. If you don't understand this, you can make people your God. Recognize behind the resource is the source. Is the Most High God causing people to be good to you, causing doors to open, causing clients to seek you out. As long as you're keeping him first place, you are connected to a supply line that will never run dry. When a door closes, you have to remind yourself it's not the resource blessing you, it's the source. You will prosper even in the desert. Because you're connected to that source, you will be blessed in the famine. All through the day, Lord, I recognize you're the source of my life. Yes, this company gave me a good position, but you're the source of the favor. The longer I live, the more I recognize God's goodness in my life. Things that I thought were a coincidence, I realize now it was the source. You were at the right place at the right time, met that person and fell in love. That wasn't a coincidence, that was the source. Are you thanking God for every good gift? Do you realize you wouldn't have waken up this morning without the source? Your eyes wouldn't see without the source. Don't get so caught up in the resources that you forget it's the Most High God working in your life. When you look back over your life, nothing was a coincidence. There were no lucky breaks. That was the hand of God. When you're in difficult times, don't sit around in self-pity. Do something where God can see your faith. Make plans to come out of debt. Are you taking steps of faith to show God that you're ready for favor? You may have areas in your life that are dry now. You haven't seen much good breaks, any increase. Seems like it's permanent. No, get ready. The flow is coming. You couldn't have made it happen. The odds were against you, but the source is going to send a supernatural flow. Finances are about to flow. The right people are going to flow. You're not going to have to find them. They're going to find you. Receive this into your spirit. Healing is flowing. Strength is flowing. You haven't been able to get ahead in your career. Don't get discouraged. The flow is coming. Ideas are about to flow. Creativity is going to flow. You are coming into supernatural provision, supernatural healing, supernatural connections. Now get in agreement with God. Lord, I'm grateful for the medicine, but I know you're my healer. Lord, I don't see how I can accomplish my dreams, but I know you have a way where I don't see a way. He knows not only what you need, but he knows when you're going to need it. The scripture says, no good thing will he withhold because you walk uprightly. He's not going to withhold the finances, the ideas, the connections. Quit worrying about how it's going to happen. God has it figured out.
The how-to is none of your business. God in the blessing business, man. The how-to is none of your business.